that is to tell you Hanukkah this year, if you're celebrating Hanukkah and you're into crypto, then your crypto Hanukkah is the festival of lights. And by that I mean Litecoins. Yeah, those are the lights are the little individual units that make up a Litecoin. 100 million lights is one Litecoin, just like 100 million Satoshis is one Bitcoin, right? So, and LITES is how you spell lights, or LITE, light, one light, 100 million lights. So, hopefully, you'll have a crazy night of Litecoin crypto Hanukkah nights. And yeah, it's funny because you hear all these stories about, years ago somebody bought, 0.25 BTC for a friend, or they gave him 3 Bitcoin or whatever, and they gave him a paper wallet, way back in 2010 or 2009 or 2011. Right? They wrote down their information on a piece of paper or printed it for them, and told them to just stick it in the sock drawer and forget about it, and that they might just enjoy having this collectible that's worth more than the paper it's written on, or that it might be at some point in the future, and that instead of getting them something more typical, that they got them something, a little bit of an investment gift, which is, if you think about it, a very nice gift. And then of course those people who look at those things now are realizing just what a great friend that friend is that gave them that crypto. And I gotta say, those were nice gifts to give. And especially, I thought at the time, that's a pretty cool thing to give somebody. Anyway, what did it cost back then? Depends when you bought it, right? But there were days when you could buy a whole Bitcoin for pennies, or you could buy half a Bitcoin for $50, or whatever the price was when you bought them back in the relatively cheap days. And think about what you spend on a price of a Christmas gift or a Hanukkah gift or whatever gift you give to somebody around the holidays or around their birthday or whatever day that you give somebody a gift. And that's the thing, is it doesn't necessarily have to be a Bitcoin. Yeah, sure, Bitcoin's great, it's wonderful. People say that now, right? Especially after it's at the $100,000 range again. Again, now that it's reached that since the last month or so, and it's around 96K or so, last I checked about a half hour ago. But arguably, and I say arguably because nothing is ever a certainty, right? Other than the old joke about 2 things you can count on in life, right? But other than that, especially when it comes to investment assets, there are no certainties, right? But there are probabilities. And that's why I think Litecoin really is a great holiday gift this Christmas and this Hanukkah. Because in my opinion, it remains ridiculously undervalued. And at about $100 and change, $105, whatever the number is at right now, a little over $100 or so, it is insanely undervalued, considering it has all of the same technology as Bitcoin, all of the same characteristics as Bitcoin. It's portable, mobile, it's divisible, scalable, right? It is uncensorable, right? Immutable. It is a limited resource. There are only 4 times as many Litecoins as there are Bitcoins. So at 84 million max cap supply of Litecoins, that's just 4 times as many Litecoins as there are Bitcoins. And it is still held mostly by retail. And that is changing quickly as more and more smart money investors realize, hey, guys, this is the next big real decentralized cryptocurrency that has a chance in heck of getting an ETF. Yeah, sure, you might get a Solana one, and you might get an XRP one, but Litecoin's the one. It's the chosen one. Why? Well, it's got all the same tech as Bitcoin. It's got pretty much the same distribution as Bitcoin in terms of technology, because the same people that mine Bitcoin pretty much all mine Litecoin, right? It'd be hard pressed to find too many Bitcoin mining rigs and operations that don't mine any Litecoin at all. It'd be kind of unusual because it's the same exact technology that you use to mine both. So why wouldn't you mine Litecoin? Especially when there's only 4 times as many Litecoin as Bitcoin, and the cost of mining a Litecoin is much, much cheaper than the cost of mining a Bitcoin, right? So just like the cost of buying one at the moment remains much, much cheaper. Now, can it ever get to a quarter of the price of Bitcoin? Well, in theory, at some point in the future it might. Is it likely to do that in the next 4 years? Who knows what's going to happen in 4 years, but even if it doesn't, even if it never reaches 10% of the price. Right now, 10% of the price for a Litecoin to a Bitcoin would be around 10 grand, right? Or 9,600 bucks, or whatever the 10% of Bitcoin price is, right? Would be phenomenal. Would be like almost 100x gains on where it is now. What would you do with 100x gains on your portfolio? Would you have a happy holiday? I'm guessing if you gave that to a friend, they'd be happy. If you gave them a Litecoin worth $100 or half a Litecoin for $50, and in 5 years, 10 years time or less, it becomes worth 10 grand for a Litecoin, I bet you they'd be happy. In 15 years, it becomes worth 100 grand, right? These kind of things are possible. A lot of them require time and patience, but don't ever let that dissuade you from doing something smart for yourself. And I'm not telling you to go buy Litecoin. I'm just saying, in my personal opinion, it's a very undervalued coin. And for everybody else, well, do your own research. I don't care if you buy it or not. And frankly, the more you don't buy it, well, the more there is for me to buy. Right? But I would like if it would stay in the hands of retail traders. And if you would all not let all the big whales buy it up. Right? The whole purpose of crypto is to have decentralized assets in the hands of retail people, to be able to break out of the system that holds everybody down. And Litecoin is your next best escape route if you can't get enough Bitcoin now. Now, you can still get fragments of Bitcoin, sure. But you might not be. But even if you can't get enough Bitcoin to substantively change your life, you probably still can get a Litecoin that, if it ever has any significant returns to the upside, with respect to the proportion of returns that Bitcoin has already had, then there is a very high probability that you will see pretty insane gains from a Litecoin investment. And this is my opinion. Of course, I'm not talking about long-term investments on this channel. I talk about usually trading, all right? So, yeah, short-term trades can be very, very nice. So anyway, yeah, that's my take on the old Litecoin. I definitely think it's a highly look at the vet charts of Litecoin over the years, over the months. I've been telling you all year, this thing is going to see some very nice returns. And so far this year, it has. And it is likely to see more nice returns in the coming weeks and months. Not just because I say so. Hi, Talon. It's not like Litecoins you have. Hi, Talon. It's not like Litecoins you have nice returns just because I say so. It's going to have nice returns because of the VEPs. Like, let's be clear. Inventing the wheel here. Litecoin is set to do very well in trades, and what I mean in low time frame trades. But even as a long-term strategy, okay, you want to talk about holding something long term. It is highly unlikely to not yield good returns over the long term. Anyway, that's my opinion. I'll talk with you guys later. Happy holidays. Happy trading. Cheers.